Turtle Speed, the Turbo Speed. Hey YouTube, this is my 740 XI and I've ran into my first major issue with the B58 platform. This is not necessarily to do with the B58, but just BMWs in general. They're very, very touchy with their electronics, and this is the first major electronic fail I have had with owning 7 BMWs, besides the transfer case motor I had on a 335 E92. But let's get into it. I'll walk down what's been happening. So after a long drive with the car, I have been experiencing turning off the car and then turning it back on, and the whole car goes into limp mode after the car gets warm and up to temp. And then it throws chassis errors and all sorts of fun jazz. So much fun. But let's break down what I have done and got into. So if we pop open the hood here, I have the engine cover off at the moment, but I originally put in a new map sensor that cleared it for about a day, and then it came right back on. I took it to a friend's shop and they found that there was a break in one of the wires that I missed when I was tracking down the wires for the map sensor back to the DME. So I spliced a new one in with a factory harness, and that still didn't take care of the issue. I was going to throw this car, I threw the car in to get an exhaust done, which I'll make a video about that here after a bit. And what that shop ended up finding was my DME is bad. There's an internal short to ground inside this DME right here, and to get a brand new one from BMW, you're looking at $3 grand for a job to have it tuned, or not tuned, but reprogrammed to the car and get your DME replaced with a brand new one. With this car being a high mileage 740, it is pushing over 150,000 miles. But what this issue is part of the reason why I got this car for the price I did, which I'm not unhappy about, because I kind of figured there's something major happening, and this is all just a learning curve. And that's what you get when you come to BMWs. They're not like your American cars. American cars, there's plenty of them out there that have issues. But with German cars, there's a lot of electrical that happens, and you got to be prepared for that. And I tried to do all the best of my knowledge on what to do and how to solve this issue. So I'm very thankful for the local shop here in town to help me figure this out. And instead of paying the $3 grand that BMW wants to throw at me, I went this route. I found one off a pulled, wrecked 540 that should be the same part number as that, with 30,000 miles, due to Persian Motorsports. Thank you, Persian Motorsports, for sending this out and hooking me up with a new DME, newer DME, that should fix this whole issue. And what a DME is, this is the brains of your B58 in your car. It holds all the knowledge. It's basically the computer of the car, other words known as an ECM or an ESU. Kind of depends on which language mechanically you're speaking, but BMW calls it a DME. And I'm very thankful that I found one, and didn't have to spend out of the buck, another $2 grand, $3 grand to fix up this car. So we're going to get that put in this week and reprogrammed to the car, because these cars are VIN Pacific when you throw in a new ECM into this car. So hopefully that resolves my issue, and we can go back to cranking out videos with the 740. I've already done a resonator delete on this car, and I plan on putting in the cold air intake that I got, but I didn't want to dump more money into this car without resolving the major issue at task. Because driving this thing around and then parking it and then going back into the car and it shuts down completely on you, it's not fun, because then I got to do a throttle position reset. The average person wouldn't know how to do that, and they would just flip out, and the car would end up having to be towed and fixed. But I've been trying to just prolong this until I could figure it out myself. We are, as mechanics, you know, there's limitations to us. I'm heavy diesel mechanic, so this is a little different powerhouse than what I'm used to. But I have grown up around engines and stuff, and this is what I've been a huge tackle. But I'm glad we figured it out, and I'll keep you updated if that was not the key. And I don't know how much more time and money I'm going to throw at this if this doesn't go away. I would hate to see this car go, but who knows? Who knows what can happen? So, I'm going to walk you through on how to do a throttle position reset on a B58 platform. This works for 7 Series, 4 Series, and I believe 3 Series. I mean, that's what I've tried it on. It was very similar to my E92. So if you are having issues with your BMW and you want to, you know, try to clear the codes and let the car, you know, get you to another spot, what I do is I hit the start button 1, 2, 3 times, and then I hit the gas pedal down here and I hold it for 30 to a minute long. I normally go a minute, that way I'm safe and I know it's had time to, you know, reboot itself. And then with your foot still on the gas, you're going to want to power everything off. With some cars you hit the button. With mine, I have to hit the power button to turn all the electronics off. And then after you do that, you hold down that and you let go of your foot pedal, and the car will go to sleep. I normally wait 2 minutes or longer, and then I'll start up the car, and it runs fine until I need to get to my next destination. If I let the car sit overnight, or I let it sit for 30 minutes plus, it normally does not have an issue. That's only when I'm running at a long time, and it's hot, and it just gets unhappy. So, yeah, that's how you do that. So from turtle speed to turbo speed. Have a great day, YouTube. Leave a like, a comment, and subscribe down below. More videos to come after we figure out this DME issue. Thank you for watching.